Hi, welcome to Give Me the Bible, where God's Word speaks for itself. Maybe you watched the past 4 or 5 videos that I've posted where I've talked a lot, really, about restoring a healthy fear for God and Jesus and His apostles, and really the Bible, and getting back to their uh, written Word that we have so that we can know what Jesus wants from us. And maybe you watch those videos and you have a question in your mind and you're thinking, Brian, are you saying that I have to follow the Bible perfectly in order to go to heaven? And that's a very fair question. And I want to say that's absolutely not my point in these videos. In fact, it can't be my point because I know that it's not possible for us to perfectly understand everything in the Bible. Even if we were to study our entire lives, there would still be things that we were learning. And so if it was some requirement that we uh, have every belief and every practice perfectly right according to God's word in order to go to heaven, probably most of us wouldn't make it. Okay, I'd be surprised to see anybody make it, really, because I would be foolish and I would be arrogant if I thought that I just had everything figured out and I have all the answers to everything. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm also not saying that we'll somehow be able to stand before God on Judgment Day and say, God, look at all the Bible verses that I know. Look at all the Bible verses that I've memorized, and I have all kinds of beliefs and practices that are lined up with your word, and so you got to let me into heaven. Well, no, because it is only by God's grace that we are allowed into heaven, and salvation is only through Jesus Christ. It's not that we can somehow earn heaven or become deserving of heaven because, well, hey, I know more Bible than you do, and we're going to kind of show God a report card on Judgment Day about our Bible knowledge. That is not the point of making these videos. The point is to address our attitude. Attitude is really what I'm trying to get at, because our attitude should be that, yes, even though I won't know everything perfectly from the Bible, I'm going to try as hard as I can, and I'm going to put forth every effort to get to know what your will is in the Bible. That because I want to treat you as holy. That's the attitude that I'm trying to produce by putting out these videos, because that's the attitude I believe has been lost in our society and in the religious world today. I believe people are very, very comfortable because they've always grown up in a church and they've just assumed that the teaching was right, haven't really looked into it for themselves. They've just kind of gone along with the teaching, not really being serious students of God's Word, like, for instance, the Bereans were in Acts 17, verse 11, says that they were more noble-minded than those in Thessalonica, for they received the Word with great eagerness, examining the Scriptures daily to see whether these things were so. The Bereans had a noble mind. Okay, this is the kind of mind I'm trying to create in the listeners and the viewers of my videos, is this noble mind and this attitude that wants to know the Scriptures and wants to know God through His Word and wants to obey Him as carefully and as closely as we can, not because of some sort of legalism that we're trying to earn or gain heaven, but because Jesus says, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. And there are so many people, as we've talked about before, that claim to love Jesus and are not keeping His commandments in the Bible. And this is what we've got to restore. We have to restore a healthy fear and respect for the Bible, because it's God's Word, it's Jesus' Word through the writings of the prophets and the apostles. And that's what I'm saying in these videos, to adjust and change our hearts and to stop treating Jesus like, keeping His Word really doesn't matter all that much, as long as we, kind of show up to church a couple times a week and, we kind of say our prayers and go through the motions, and as long as we're members at a church, well, then we're just guaranteed heaven. Wow, Jesus calls us to such higher service and to such a deeper reverence for Him and His Word, because it's His Word that we'll be judged by in the end. I hope that that's clear and helpful. Thank you so much for your interest in spiritual things, and Lord willing, I'll see you next time.